I like to say that corn is my field.
Oh.
You might have seen some of my work on Cornhub.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're into that. So I have lived in New York City now for more than 20 years, and I still smile on the subway.
No.
Yeah, like a victim. So I was smiling on the A train the way that I do, and I saw a Hare Krishna on the very far end of the very crowded train. He spotted me, I spotted him, and I thought, oh crap, he's coming over to talk to me. And I'm gonna have to join his cult just to make him go away. Well, sure enough, he floats over to me. Oh, hi. He floats over to me, and he says, hey, I like your energy. What do you practice? Okay, so a normal New Yorker at this point would tell him to fuck off. But me, I'm curious, and so I engage. I say, well, I was raised Methodist, but I practice Confucianism. Truth is, folks, I've been confused my entire life. I'm 51 years old, and I'm only attracted to men.
Yay.
I've never been married. I don't have any kids that I know about. I am too weird for Indiana, a red state. I'm too bright-eyed for New York, blue state. It's not easy being purple. I'm a Hoosier, as in Hoosier Daddy. Except I absolutely know who my dad is. I'm thinking about him today for Father's Day. I absolutely know who my dad is because I look just like him. I've got his nose, his teeth, his figure, not to brag. And my mom and dad met in high school. And they still hold hands, they're still married, they're still very much in love. Totally fucked. But you know, my dad actually had an open heart surgery in October, and my dad, being who he is, he's back to work shoveling the neighbors. He shoveled the neighbor. I was like, Dad, I don't think you're supposed to do that. And he was like, oh, I shoveled ours and the neighbors. But when he was just coming to, I arrived back in Indiana, and he just had the tube removed from his feet, so he was able to speak to me. And he says, oh, I'm going to be nicer from now on. And he's probably the only person on earth who I would say, no, don't be nicer. So I inherited my grandmother's wigs. Yeah, she died about 5 years ago. And fun fact, I play Mrs. Claus during the holidays. I actually do. This is going to be my 10th season. And I wear my grandmother's wigs. And I look a lot like my grandmother. It's freaky. I put the wig on and it's like my grandma staring me in the face. And you would think that this would be such a huge town for a Mrs. Claus. It isn't. It's Santa's town. For a long time, I was it. So when no one would hire me, I would get all dressed up like Mrs. Claus, and I would ride the subway. Since I have that smiling problem I told you about earlier, I thought this was a good use of that. So I would play Mrs. Claus in the subway. And pole dancers, people who wouldn't give me the time of day, would come over and talk to me. They'd be like, your outfit's dope. They'd say, can you pay my rent for Christmas? That was kind of fun. And I did get the attention. I posted on social media, you know how we all do, to make it look like I'm actually doing something really big and glamorous. I wasn't. That was pretty much it. But I did get the attention of this big deal Santa. He's an agent. That's how this business works. There's agents. You probably know this. And he's run out of the Connecticut circuit. He does a lot of the country clubs. So I take the Metro North with all my gear, and it's pouring rain, and I get off Metro North on the platform. I'm holding my garment bag, and he pulls up in a black van, and I notice that he has his beard on the dashboard. And in the back are mini plastic bags full of stuffed animals. And he says to me, that's all my shit in the back. And he says, he's like, I'm up to my ass in Christmas. And there was a moment when I thought, maybe I shouldn't get into this van with a man who says he's Santa Claus. But I did get into the van, and I pretended to be his wife, because apparently that's my kink. So some of his advice that he gave me was pretty precious. Some of the things that, one of the things he told me once was, I'm not afraid of anything. I was around the Rockettes in my tighty whities, just so we were aware of what kind of a person this was. He said, one of the key points of advice he said to me going into a country club, just go in there like you're high on cocaine. Merry Christmas. Really nice, right? So I'm gonna try something out that I'm working on. I'm not proud of this, but I'm in love with Thomas Jefferson.
Oh.
And this is problematic, obviously. He owned people, right? So, but like I'm an American, and that's what being an American is. It's about loving things that you're ultimately very uncomfortable with sometimes. My big thing with him is that he was a Renaissance man. He was an inventor. He could do all this stuff, and he rocked a pair of breeches. Breeches, my friends, are nothing like a dick pic. A dick pic is like this. Now, breeches is kind of like a soft glow. You kind of get the whisper of what's there, with all of the documentaries on Netflix going on. It's kind of like this. You know what? Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. That's enough. I'm going to end on that.